Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. So I hope you're well and you're having a really great day. I'm sure you can tell that I am having a wonderful day. So guys, it's going to be a bit of well, I don't want to say a sip and chat, but yeah, obviously because I'll be yapping, yeah, you know, I'll get a little bit thirsty. And before you ask, I'm actually drinking a Bundaberg ginger beer. Now, I have fallen in love with Bundaberg. It's obviously a brand, and the last time when I was cooking, which was the last video I should say, when I was cooking, I was sipping on Bundaberg and rub. And today, so it's going to be Bundaberg and, well, ginger beer, or ginger beer Bundaberg. It's really nice. It has a really lovely ginger flavor. When I was in the UK, I used to drink ginger beer a lot, and this one has replaced it so easily. Guys, can you believe that? My phone's ringing now, so I'll be back. I bet you anything that's Carl calling me. Alright guys, so that was literally Carl calling me. So he's not here, so I thought I'll take the opportunity to have a little one-to-one chat and discuss why we've moved to Australia, or mainly why I've actually left my teaching job in the UK. Now, before I get into this video, don't forget to like and subscribe, hit that notification bell, and of course give the video a thumbs up, because you know when you give the thumbs up, it helps that channel to grow. You know, and I need my channel to grow heaps and heaps and heaps and heaps and heaps and just get bigger and bigger and bigger. And I know I can do that with your support, guys, because you are just the most bunch of fantastic people. Really, really, you are. I mean, I have this one particular subscriber, Myron Mitchell, but she always signs off when she sends me a little text or a message, I should say, as Sheila. Sheila, you are so wonderful, girl. You really, really are. She always sends me the most beautiful messages of support every single time. Another person who does it, there's so many of you. I know there is there's Faith Johnson. I think there is a rabbi, I can't remember her surname. But many of you, you just send me so much support. What I'm going to do is look at my messages and give a long list of, you know, thumbs up to you guys, because you are so wonderful. You always support me irregardless. You always jump in, send me a message, and you guys don't know how important that is to get feedback. And those of you who do it, you do it bloody brilliantly. I'm telling you that right now. In case you didn't know, you do it fantastically well. So thank you for that. Okay, so give the video a thumbs up, and of course share the video around. Okay, so today now is 1 month, literally 1 month since we left the UK. Now let me tell you a little bit of life in Australia for me since I've been here. Now it is, or I should say it has been new everything. What I would say though, right off the bat, the food is lovely, and I'm talking about all the fresh produce. We went to Vic Market, and it was so amazing to see such beautiful fresh vegetables. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that doesn't exist in England, but the market was just amazing. It really, really is an amazing market. One of the things I hated when I was in London, if you see me looking outside, because I'm literally by two big beautiful windows and I can see the front of the house here, and just seeing people walking by, so I'm just being nosy at the same time. But yeah, one of the things that used to really annoy me is when you bought vegetables or you bought avocados in the UK, you cut into it. Now, first of all, you had to feel around to find one that's actually sufficiently ripe before you can actually take it home, which is slightly normal in a sense, right? So even though they would say nearly ripe, or you know, or ripe at home, I hated that, because especially the ripe at home, when you bought it, you took it home, you cut it open, it was literally gone. And that's because they allowed it to sort of, they were force picked, and they were probably kept in storage for so long. By the time they got to the UK, they were no longer. And when you cut into them, they did not last long. In literally in no time, it turns. Well, the avocados here are a dream. I love avocados, and I haven't seen it gone black as yet. And I usually go through them quite a lot because they're so good for you, you know. And I will cut into it one evening or one, because I make dinner roughly around 6 o'clock in the evening, 7 o'clock we usually eat in by then. And next 2 days, go back to it. It's still just the same color as I left it. Put it in a Ziploc bag and it's fine. Do that in England? Trust me, you just gotta throw it in the bin, because it's not just gone black, it's gone black right to the root of the seeds. And that's because it was literally force ripe. They were not being allowed to progress naturally. Anyway, I digress. The vegetables, the market, beautiful. Another thing that I've noted as well is that when I go to public toilets, immaculately clean. Absolutely lovely, because I'm pretty fussy when it comes to public toilets. I think most women are. But no problems. I cannot say thumbs down. I have to say literally a thumbs up. Literally every single toilet I have visited in Melbourne, brilliant, spotless, clean, no issues at all, you know. So that's really enjoyable. I haven't really been shopping as yet. People are very pleasantly nice. I've had a few people stare at me. Why? I don't know. I can only guess, because I'm just fabulously looking. I mean, on Sunday, I think it was Sunday, Carl and I was in Woolworths, and I just saw this dude just literally staring at me. And I don't mean like literally like, you know, glance at you. I mean like, I was like, hey, hello? Is there something on my face? What is it? What? So I just like, yeah, and what? You know, I wasn't close to Carl, so I'm just wondering, why is this man literally staring at me? I wouldn't know, and frankly, me not care. As Jamaicans say, we me not care. So yeah, but it was, you know, it's no big deal to me. People look at people are actually curious. People look. That's just the world we live in, you know. I am in a multicultural relationship at the same time, and to be honest, I think one of my first experiences of that is when Carl and I just literally got together, and yeah, there was this lady just literally staring at us, like, ugh. But on Sunday, I wasn't with Carl. I was literally, well, when I say wasn't, he was in another island, I was in another island. He was just staring, but I just wondered, why is this man staring at me? But you know, yeah, such is life. But people are really friendly, approachable, helpful, very helpful, greet you when you come into the store, which is really nice. You don't really get that in England. You get a frowny face, you know, like, what you want, what are you disturbing me for? In fact, I had one negative experience with a lady from Spotlight. She really peed me off. She was rude, and I can only assume that she was really busy and she didn't have the time, but I would just leave her alone right now, because she ain't gonna spoil my face. Anyhow, so yeah, so that was it really. I mean, so far, experiences-wise has been really good. I love going to the zoo. I really enjoy experiencing this this beautiful country. It really is a beautiful country. I mean, I remember when I said to my students, you know, I'm moving to Australia. One of them said to me, "Ma'am, no, everything there wants to kill you and eat you." I just happened to laugh, and she was just so scared by the whole thought of it. You know, just, you could imagine her parents telling her, or where she's got her information from, that everything was to murder, death, kill you. That was her biggest concern. But coming back to the title of this, you know, as I said, we have been here a month now. It's literally a month to the day, and my experience have been fantastic. Carl has been very supportive in allowing me to settle in, because Carl used to live here before for many, many years. So he is just like coming back home for him. So yeah, it has been an eye-opener. It has also been an opportunity for me to just breathe. It really, really has been, you know. I think for me, leaving my job was time. It really was time. And there are many sort of catalysts to the moment that made me just say, right, this is it. And I will share those with you. So this is a little bit of a personal story, and how my mental mind really transitioned for me to say, yes, I would like to move to Australia. So when Carl presented the idea to me initially, I was like, no, I'm not gonna leave with my kids. No, you mad? You crazy? No. And that was the end of the conversation, really. But I think as time, you know, progressed and things change, etc., I started wondering and thinking, and I thought, yeah, okay, then I'll probably contemplate the idea. I wouldn't shut it down. I'll contemplate the idea, you know. And I just wanted something more. I really, really did. I was just fed up of the mundane lifestyle of going to work, teaching other people's children, dealing with their rudeness, dealing with the school, dealing with just life as a teacher is bloody stressful. It really is, because it is not just a job, it is really is other people's children. And dare I say it, stupid parents. And I don't mean that in the most disrespectful way, I really don't. But there are some parents are just the most difficult people to deal with, because they never sort of see their children in school. All they see is the little angels that they think they are when they're at home. But in reality, a lot of them aren't. And don't get me wrong, a lot of my students were absolutely beautiful children. I used to call a lot of them my white kids, because they were so lovely, and I loved them a lot. They were really lovely, lovely children, you know. And I think I also had issues in letting that go, because I was also concerned about the ones that I cared about a lot. And I really did care about all of them, even the difficult and rude ones. I always found a way to work with them, you know. But I think the catalyst for me that pushed me over the edge was when my sister passed. And that was a really difficult time for me. And it was so difficult that I used to be sad. And I don't think anybody knew this, because I kept it to myself a lot. And I haven't really shared this. Carl knows. Eventually, I told him how I was feeling. And he was so upset with me as to why I wouldn't share, you know, my real sincere pain. Because I can hide it pretty well. And I think the reason for that is because I have always been the stronger one. You know, in the family, my kids, you know, something goes wrong, they call mum so that mum can figure it out. But I felt that I still had to be that person, even for my mother, you know. Still had to be that person, to be that strong person. And so dealing with my own sort of anxiety, which is what they became in the end, of, you know, dealing with my sister's passing, because my sister died from a brain aneurysm. And I remember when I was talking to my daughter, because obviously we got the phone call to say this happened, and, you know, she was in hospital. And I remember my daughter phoned to find out what's happening, and my sister literally just called me before that, because I have two sisters, obviously one passed and I have another one. The other sister, she called to say, you know, she's no longer here. And literally at the same time, my daughter phoned, and my daughter's asking, well, Mummy, what's going on? And I always remember my daughter saying to me, Mummy, I have never heard you cried like that before. I mean, it was a crying of real pain. And I've never experienced that feeling before. It was definitely new to me. And I think I didn't really deal with it very well. And what I mean by that is that I hid it. I hid it from work, I hid it from Carl, I hid it from my children. When everybody asks, are you okay? Yeah, I'm fine, I'm fine. I didn't even take time off work. Oh yes, work did offer me the opportunity to, you know, to move on and to, you know, to have some time off. But I also felt in that moment, being at home made me think about everything else more. So I wanted to be busy, you know. Quilting helped. Quilting was a lifesaver. And even though many times when on camera, I wasn't concentrating or I wasn't thinking about what experiences I had going on in my life separately. But I was just focusing on the sewing and, you know, the piecing and all that. And that was my little dream world, in the sense that everything else was shut out. And I was fine in that moment. But once the camera came off and the project ended, then I was back to myself. You know, I remember on one occasion, or many occasions, leaving home, getting up early in the morning to get dressed and go to work and stuff like that. And I would leave home fine. And by the time I got to work, I would be in floods of tears. I'll be in the car sitting down crying. And I remember having to, you know, just sort myself out because I didn't want my students to see me being upset. I didn't want to see any other teachers see me being upset, because that creates more drama. It's be like, what's wrong? What, you know, everybody else wants to know, because people care. People want to help. People want to be supportive, you know. So I had those moments, and outside of that, work was just stressful. There were so many changes happening with the school. You know, obviously we were coming out of COVID, and students became wild. They became children who had no more training, because it's like they went home to their parents and parents didn't do anything. You know, they came back not knowing how to behave in a classroom. They came back hyper. And I guess they came back with anxieties themselves, you know, because COVID was huge. And I think a lot of people don't understand what had happened to children in that moment, how it really shut their world down. And so as teachers, you had to deal with that. You had to also be that mentor. You still had to be that parent for them. So I had all these issues going on, you know, and it was just too much. And I remember saying to Carl, yes, it's time. I'm done. I just want to break. I just want to be free of it all. I don't want this on my shoulders anymore. I just wanted a chance just to breathe and to be happy, and to not stay in that moment of sadness all the time, because I was really sad. I really, really was. And I think for me, that's one of the most saddest experiences. You know, it's only now, today, if I'm flipping through my phone and her picture comes up, I can look at it. Before, I will swipe it so quickly because I didn't want to deal with that. But it's getting better. It really, really is. You know, and I remember when I made the decision, I went into school and I sent my headmaster an email. I chickened out. I didn't do the face-to-face. But because I know who he is, he would have obviously asked for a meeting, which he did. And I wasn't sure what to expect, because I wasn't giving the school any notice. I was just telling them I'm going, basically. And in an ideal world, you're supposed to give 3 months. So he said, you know, why do you want to leave? And I said, I am just unhappy. I don't want this anymore. I was pretty frank with him. You know, I think I'd reached a stage in my life whereby I said, I am not going to pretend. I'm not going to lie. I am not going to give sideways answers to make anybody feel better. I'm going to give it to you straight. You know, and I wasn't disrespectful. I was just said I'm unhappy. I need a change in my life. And this is not working for me. The mundane lifestyle is not working for me. Coming into school and dealing with children and dealing with all the things that's going on, all the changes in school, all the planning, all the parents meeting, all dealing with silly parents, all dealing with stupid children who just don't want to listen and be respectful. I am done with it. And that is literally how I felt. And I remember him saying to me, and I was crying when I was speaking to him. I really was, because it was a moment of clarity. And I think he realized that there was nothing that man could have said to me that would have changed my mind. Because you know, when it hits you here, it's time for you to move on. And so I began then to tell everybody else. You know, it took me a while to tell my students that I just needed to go. A lot of them cried, to be honest, because I had a really good relationship with a lot of them, especially the girls. And even some of the naughty boys, you know. I always had a knack in dealing with children, in the sense that if they were naughty, I saw beyond that, you know. And I used to always say to them, I know you can do better. Don't disappoint yourself. You know, there are moments when I would lose it. Don't get me wrong. I would lose, and I can lose it quickly. But I also calm down in the moment, and I always revert back to the reason why I'm upset with them, so that they understand that I'm not just yelling because I want to yell. And I never really yelled. It was very much a firm voice, in the sense that you're not doing what is expected of you, or you're not doing what you know in your heart is right. So I always spoke to the core of them, and many times I wouldn't say I got my way, but I got through to them, you know. But it was time to move on, and I didn't care about money. I didn't care about my career. To be honest, I just wanted a break. Teaching is hard work, guys. If anybody ever tell you that being a teacher is easy, especially teaching in London with all of the planning, the preparation, parents meeting, you know, calling the parents when students are naughty, and then you're having parents say to you, well, why did you do this and why you give them attention? Really? You really think I want to give your child a detention so that I can stay back after school and see their faces? No, I don't want to do that. For me to give a child detention, you have to really annoy me, or you have to really push me to that edge to give you detention. So I don't want you, parent, questioning me as to why you give your child a detention, or why I've moved your child from one seat to the next. You know, things like that is just unbelievable. I mean, such is life, you know, but it was just time for me to move on. So I've had enough of that world. And I've also had the realization of my sister dying, knowing that life is too short. And I don't want to live my life in this mundane, rotating swirl anymore. I want things whereby I can make a choice. I can decide if I want to go in today or not go in today. I want to get up late. I want to shower late, or whatever it may be. It's just about living and not just existing. And when I told Carl, yes, he was so excited. He was so happy. Of course, it's something he wanted, you know, so he will be joyful. But regrets, 0. Happiness, 110%. When I got to Melbourne, I actually saw this teaching job, and it literally read me. It was a job for me. I contemplated the idea. I'll be honest. I contemplated the idea. Why? I don't know. I guess it's just the fact that, you know, you're somewhere new and probably you just think you should do something. It is very strange getting up in the morning and just being able to relax, you know, lie in bed, have a cup of coffee and just read and just chill out. Just take a breath, as I've said. It's really, really refreshing to do that. And don't get me wrong, this is not something I want to do forever. I have other plans of things I want to do, i.e. grow my channel, explore, and be creative. I mean, there's so much more that I want to do that I don't just want to teach. And I can still teach, but not in the traditional sense of being in that classroom environment. I mean, when I do my quilting, that is teaching. So there are other ways to explore my skills, you know, so, and that is what I'm working on. So I would ask you guys to really support me in growing my channel, to help to do this in the way that I really, really want to. So that's literally it, why I really left the UK and why I stopped my teaching job. You know, I don't think the school actually got someone to replace me. Because I had 2 roles. I was a textile teacher as well as a hospitality and catering teacher. So I had 2 roles to do. So covering or getting somebody to replace 2 jobs from 1 teacher would have been quite difficult. So I don't know what the school did. I think they actually swapped teachers around to try to cover. They changed the lessons. You know, I don't think they'll find anyone soon enough. Let me have a drink because, you know, my throat's getting dry. This is so wonderful. But yeah, so far, as I said, life here has been brilliant. As you guys know, we're planning to travel, so please follow along with us on our sort of traveling journey. I don't know how long we'll be doing it for. It really depends on a lot of things, and we're open to trying new things. And I think one of Carl's aims is to have fun, and he really wants me to do that. He said, baby, I just want you to chill out, rest, have fun, relax, you know, and when you're ready to go back out to work, then you can, you know, or you want to do whatever you want, and that's so supportive of him, you know, to do that. And I think that's something we both want. Excuse me, you know. So guys, I really hope you enjoyed this chat, and that's literally what I've got for you right now, and I'm gonna have another sip again. Every time I have a sip, have you noticed I look at it? But guys, yeah, it has been a real fun opening chat, expressing to you, you know, things that I've gone through and my emotions, but I'm good now. One thing about life is that it's a conveyor belt, isn't it? As long as you jump on board that conveyor belt and you continue to move, rest, and to embrace your challenges, you will be fine. Procrastination is the key of destroyer, and that's the last one. Myself, my children, my husband, I just want to be happy. If I'm happy, I know everything else around me is good. Because just gotta keep yourself open, and I'm open for new challenges, for new experiences, and for welcoming new subscribers. So guys, that's all I've got for you today. Don't forget to like and subscribe, hit that notification bell, give it a thumbs up, and give me a feedback. You know, what's been going on in your life? Have you experienced anything as similar as I did? And yeah, just share with me what your thoughts was on me, you know, divulging some of my personal experiences. And trust me, they really are. Because, as I said, I only told Carl really how I felt. So love you.